Hi, dear person, Mary. Well, here I am back on this subject just when I thought I'd uh, given myself a breather. Um, yeah, I'm going to try to be as short, or I'm going to aspire to be as short as you were. First of all, when you say a long, long time ago, you were a hardcore believer and you're 18, looking from this side of the time blender, that that freaks me out. But in any case, and by the way, you say that you're not going to get into this experience that you had of feeling that you had felt the hand of God. I Because it's a long story. Well, I'd like you to do a blog on that in the future, and I'd also very much like you to tell about your experience of going from belief to unbelief, because in my life, I said in a previous video that I probably must have believed in God in some way when I was very, very little, but I'm talking about like believing in Santa Claus, something from before I can remember, because for as long as I can remember thinking, I remember myself not believing in God, and it was never a wrenching struggle or a complicated choice. I have always been fascinated by the nature of existence, but from as far back as I can remember, it never even occurred to me that the Christian tradition, which is the tradition that I was born into, was literally true. You asked me to answer the questions that I asked Lindsay, and I see them pretty much coming down to two. One is, do I believe that there is something to the feelings that people have that they have been touched by God, or that they just are having a special relationship with God, and that therefore God must exist. That's question number one. And question number two, if I can read my own blog correctly, do I think that it matters what you believe in some metaphysical, supernatural sort of way? And the easy answers are, the simple, quick answers are, I believe that the experience that people have, that they interpret as a relationship with God, is a real experience that human beings have. Human beings have all kinds of experiences. Love is the most obvious one. It's incredibly hard to define effectively, but I think we can have no doubt that people really do love in approximations of every definition that anyone's ever come up with for love. People really do love, and if you want to, you can reduce that to a series of objective scientific explanations, biological, evolutionary, what have you. But it's certainly a real experience. Do I believe that it's an experience of a supernatural God? No, absolutely not. And then the question, of course, which I think proceeds from that answer, the answer to the second question is, I don't think it does matter in any supernatural way what you believe. Doesn't matter if you don't believe, it doesn't matter if you do. Everybody, when we die, we go back to the same place we were before we were born, which is nowhere. But that's not depressing or limiting. Every transcendent thing that you, dear person, me, or anyone listening to this has ever felt or imagined exists within the sphere. I mean, by definition, it's what is the word tautology? It's a tautology. If you can conceive it, you have conceived it. It's sort of like giving birth. Once you're born, you're alive. There's nothing anybody can do about that, because if there is nothing before birth or after death for the consciousness, if consciousness only lasts while you're alive, and consciousness is what is conscious of being conscious, then you and I and anyone listening to this are effectively immortal and cannot die from our own subjective point of view. Death is an objective fact, but it's a subjective impossibility. And what's more, all of the meaning that a lot of people think gets lost when you give up on the idea of something outside of the natural. When you're just stuck with the natural, a lot of people think, oh, what's the point then? What's the meaning? What's the meaning of life? Well, it's all still here. It's here right now. Jesus said, or is reported to have said, the kingdom of heaven is within you now. Now, I don't believe that Jesus was a special supernatural character, and I don't really know what he did and didn't say for sure, but whoever came up with that was onto something. And I've lost my train of thought. This is what happens when you go from 18 to 48. Or could it be this stuff? I'm really starting to like this. Pepsi, I apologize to you. This whole indulge your senses with black cherry and French vanilla diet Pepsi, codename Jazz. It's once you get over the initial nausea, it grows on you, man. It grows on you like almost everything grows on you in this culture.